Hello and welcome back to my Saints Row the Third challenge mini-series where I attempt to answer the question, can I complete the game without purchasing a single upgrade? The short answer? I think so. The long answer?
Dropping in on Zemos, we infiltrate the Morningstar ring by... oh boy. These drugs can't wear off soon enough, killing people is already tricky as is. A drugged boss fight against a minigun brute kills me, which actually fixes the drugs, so there you go. According to Saints Row, if you're having a bad trip, just die. During the hose boat, I realized that this game definitely expects me to be stronger at this point than I actually am, and every brute I meet is practically a boss fight in and of themselves, even though they're usually only slightly tougher than a regular enemy by now. Somehow I managed to survive though, and while the game upgrades my rocket launcher to have Stag tech, even though Stag haven't arrived yet, I don't think it should be permanent. I don't use the rocket launcher anyway, so it shouldn't be a problem. A short ammo stock up later, and we meet up with Viola for the first time since the airplane, and Stag make their foreshadowed entrance on the scene. They've got more upgraded tech, which worries me, but it seems as if consistent headshots still drop them almost as quickly as anyone else. After a fight on the roof, Oleg kills himself? Okay, I don't know why the jet just dropped and exploded instead of keeping to the script, but that's Saints Row, I guess.
Oh hey, at some point between the park and now, Viola swapped out her white shades for the Saints purple rims.
Guess she found them technically legal. After getting annihilated, my game crashed and I had to restart Gangbang from the beginning. I came a slightly bit more prepared than last time, and after watching what I'm pretty sure was Oleg's death again, with no consequences this time, we're back to making an escape.
And there were far too many close calls for me to be happy with, some seriously hairy moments towards the end of the mission, but just managed to scrape through by the skin of my teeth.
During Live with Killbane, I learned an important lesson about where I take cover, and my first encounter with a Deca specialist also proves to be an issue, until I remember the existence of my shark, who I also appreciate during learning computer, as well as appreciating this specialist mysteriously stuck in a wall.
Unfortunately, partway through Stop All the Downloading, I realised I hadn't topped up my ammo for a while, meaning no shark coming to my rescue today. Luckily, the rollerblading cybergoth chicks are just as vulnerable to explosive rockets. Unluckily, I only have 2 of those. But luckily again, only 2 specialists spawned, and with some careful regeneration and bullet placement, I finished the mission.
Right, first thing on the agenda, make sure my ammo is all stocked up. Oh damn it. Okay, second thing, head into cyberspace. As I'm on my way, I remember I don't take any of my weapons with me. Oh well, time to enter the Deca Usenet. The Cyberbuster is actually a really good weapon here, one-shotting most of the regular enemies, and a charged shot can take out a specialist no problem. But no amount of firepower will change the fact that I'm still really squishy, and the effects that Matt throws at us make survival a little tricky at times. His boss form barely gets tickled by the uncharged shots, and in turn, much as I love the Kill All Decas prompt, they come really close to overpowering me before the next phase of the fight kicks in. Weapon upgrades mean nothing to me, so I grab the discount to vehicle customization, although I don't get to see my custom vehicles much without the delivery upgrade. And just like that, Killbane now stands alone in the Syndicate. Next on the agenda is moving house after we led Stag right to our door, a trivial matter thanks to the F-69 VTOL that we have to use. Weirdly, despite moving house, we do still get to keep the old one. Our friend Josh from the first mission is now the face of Stag, so Pierce wants us to mount a kidnapping.
Oh look, Pierce can read.
I gotta say, Viola's banter is putting her at a solid second place for me right now. Her health bar? It's a shame we can't upgrade it. Now I know which way to go though, we can stick together, and that's too close together! Okay, it's just 3 guys, it can't be that hard. That's considerably more than 3 guys though, so I better cheese this. I think this corner exploit will probably come in handy for the rest of the run. The VTOL is a minor concern, but it quickly becomes a speck in my wing mirror.
Oh my god, can I just shoot this guy?
Shondi, play nice now.
Stag Party starts well, but quickly becomes a despair trap. Quite frankly, there are too many of these people with firepower far greater than I'm capable of withstanding. The vehicles offer a glimmer of hope if I can pull off that trip one more time without exploding. Pierce's health bar, however, also appears to have different ideas. It is frustrating that in every other mission an ally can go down and be revived, but there's no revives here. If Pierce runs out of health, it's immediately over. It also doesn't help that he has no sense of direction at all.
Just turn right instead of left at the road, it's not that hard.
If there's one thing I refuse to be called, however, it's a quitter. Eventually my perseverance pays off. And since I'll only ever have one homie slot with a small health pool and I can only call him in the open world, I give Josh back to Cyrus, who immediately attacks us anyway. Despite this, he stays true to his word, and I have to choose a district for him to take over for us. I go for Wesley Cutter International Airport as it won't lock me out of any more stores like that friendly fire from Take Over the City. The penthouse is also miraculously immediately unbombed again, so I head to my plane so we can go rescue a kidnapped Shondi. To do this, we have to temporarily say goodbye to Jeremy's beautiful face as we disguise ourselves as Cyrus to infiltrate the Stag headquarters. My game crashed, which was unfortunate because I had a funny thing happen where Viola took her own separate helicopter to the Thermopylae, but it was also a good thing because my recording had crashed and reviewing the footage allowed me to see it had set itself to a 2500 bitrate for some reason, which is why the last couple of missions have looked like complete ass. With that fixed, it's time to try again, with Viola choosing to come with this time, although she did switch back to her white rims for the cutscene. I choose to believe that the fact that Kia is completely unfazed by my dancing here means that Cyrus shuffles in front of her regularly. Now, I don't have much cover to work with, so I grab a riot shield until I run out of pistol ammo, remember the wonderful virtues of the few grenades that I have, and then also remember that just because I can't bite my hostages doesn't mean that I'm banned from taking any at all. Thanks to the timer, I'm no longer allowed to take it slow, but thanks to the explosions, I no longer need to. Unfortunately, I get the feeling it's going to get a whole lot harder from here out. Another ammo top up later, and I have the choice between 2 missions. Delaying Air Steelport a while longer, I pick a remote chance. Rather annoyingly, roaming Stag troopers shoot on sight now too. This mission involves ensuring a place in an event fight against Killbane by killing off Lucadors using a remote control on their vehicles to stage their deaths as accidents. So I don't see much point in covering it in detail, since the mission would play out exactly the same without the challenge in place. I will say this though, Killbane sure knows how to cut a promo.
You want to fight the best? You fight me.
The best? The best is beating Sway the Spider God in a Tijuana scaffold match. The best is defending the world title 13 times in one night. The best is winning a last man standing match with 2 broken legs! Trust me, little Icarus. You're flying too close to the sun.
Up next is Angel earning back his mask, and I was wrong earlier, the grenade launchers belong to Lucador specialists, not a brute variant. Wonder if anyone corrected me in the comments before watching the whole video. Angel's mask is in the vault, which is luckily just lying open for us. Golden Grin, the 3-count ain't. Clearing out the casino floor is slow going, and despite an initial heart attack, courtesy of 2 flamethrower brutes, their trouble with going upstairs comes in clutch. With all that done, it's time to take on Killbane. Words cannot describe how glad I am that none of these guys have guns. Now, I'd already decided what the outcome was going to be before the match, as the Apocalypse is a powerful melee weapon, whereas Killbane's mask makes it so that taunting lights nearby people on fire, so long as you're actively wearing it. So, while I might regret it later, we take the mask as a trophy, humiliating Mr. Pryor and retaining our human abilities. It's now time for what I've been putting off, Air Steelport, where we'll permanently change a part of the world, adding to the citizens of Steelport's problems, and wishing you a happy Halloween. Man, cutscene Jeremy can take way more punishment than gameplay Jeremy. My Cobra's been swapped out for the Shepherd against my will, but the Sonic Boom can one-hit the tankier commandos, so long as I'm within the effective range of them. Wow, this falling section drags on. I'm not sure why these Death Blossoms are dual-wield, since I definitely haven't bought the upgrade for it. It appears to be just for this falling section, same as at the start of the game. Anyway, we have now caused a zombie problem we ostensibly need to clean up. However, the same way the penthouse remains usable after being bombed, the zombies remain on the island, the gas is just no longer a threat. Jeremy's brutal when necessary, but he's not a monster, so we destroy the gas rather than synthesize it. The next mission is Three-Way, which gives me pause because this is the last mission of the main story and I didn't realize we were already that far in it. After a hairy start, finding a battle location near the 3 count gives me an idea. The VTOL proves effective at clearing the area, but frustratingly the checkpoint doesn't kick in fast enough before I die, so I make a dash for safe word, when it's convenient for Pierce of course. After a few of these runs I've got my main strategy mostly down, and my main problem becomes this tank. Right as I'm considering changing my tactics, however, I manage to succeed and hit the next checkpoint. I am now convinced that the game wants to actually murder me. From where the checkpoint spawns me in front of everyone, to the vehicle I've been given, and the roadblocks in my way, everything seems stacked against me. However, if I made it through Stag Party, I can make it through the "you have got to be kidding me." Fuck it, I'll swim. This is the part of the game where we have to choose between good ending and bad ending. The dramatic swells of holding out for a hero make it obvious what choice we're supposed to go for, and I will. Bonnie Tyler comes to my rescue too, sending a helpful jet ski to propel me to the future. After making my way up the statue, getting rid of the bombs, it's time for the boss fight against Kia, which is way easier than I expected to be honest. It helps that the game just gives you the fully upgraded flashbangs as part of the fight. The upgrade in question being the conversion from flashbang to fart in a jar. Stay classy, Steelport. After becoming beloved heroes, it's time for the epilogue, taking on Killbane in his Mars base with Pierce, Shaundy, Gat, and on the radio, Cornell,
The gate is protected by a security network tied to 3 terminals.
who sounds suspiciously like Kinsey. As the friends start dropping like flies, there's a couple of moments where it feels like I'll follow suit, but we manage to breach the fortress okay.
You've come this far, only to fail now. Earth is doomed.
The time spent hiding out seems to have made Eddie's promo cutting skills rusty. His delivery isn't quite there anymore. But no time for that now. It's on to the last boss fight, fighting Killbane on Mars. This fight requires slightly more thought than the Kia fight, but granted, not much more. And surprise, it was a movie all along. Now, this ending does leave some dangling threads that don't ever get addressed. Killbane vanishes and is never encountered again in the series, and Cyrus kept asking Monica for permission to deploy the Daedalus, but it's never explained what that is. The answers are found in the other ending, which means replaying Three-Way, something that the game graciously allows us to do upon completion of the credits.
But is something that you'll graciously have to wait another week to as we come to the end of yet another video. Thank you very much for joining me on this journey, and I hope to see you next week as we return to see an alternative take on what may have happened at the end of the story, as well as the DLC missions. So please do leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.